Hello dear students of Standard 10. Welcome to DAV Mobile Public School. I am your social science teacher Nitin Pushpa today. Students, today I will take the revision of Power Sharing Part 2. So let's start our today's online session. First point is need of power sharing. Why is power sharing desirable? Students, listen. Power sharing is must in a democracy. There are two sets of reasons which make power sharing desirable. First, prudential. Okay, the first set of reason. Listen, it stresses that power sharing will bring out better outcomes. Power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. Since social conflict often leads to violence and political instability. Power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political orders. It imposing the will of majority community over the others, okay, may look an attractive option, but in the long run, it undermines the unity of nation. That means it helps to unite the nation. So that's why power sharing is important. Then second, moral. Okay, it's a second set of reason. Listen, it emphasizes the very act of power sharing is a valuable. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. People have right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. A legitimate government is one where citizens through participation can acquire a stake in the system. Okay, so it refers as moral. So in such a way that prudential and moral, for these are the two set of reasons, and because of that power sharing desirable. It is must in a democracy. It's a needed to us. Okay, forms of power sharing. Okay, listen, in a democracy, people are the source of all political power. People rule themselves through institutions of self-governance, and everyone, including minorities, has the voice in the shaping of the public policies. So, in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. In modern democracies, some forms of power sharing are prevalent. Okay, about that, I am telling you. First, horizontal distribution of power. It is an important form of power sharing. Listen, power is shared among different organs of government such as legislature, executive and judiciary. This arrangement is called horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. Such a separation of powers ensures that none of the organs can exercise unlimited power. Each organ checks the others. This results in a balance of powers among various institutions. This arrangement is called a system of checks and balance. Okay, second form of power sharing is federal government and vertical division of power. Listen, power can be shared among governments at different levels. A general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or regional level. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. In India, we refer to it as a central or the union government. Then, second, the government at the provincial or regional level are called by the different names in a different countries. For example, state government, then provincial government, and so on. There are the many countries where there are no provincial or state governments. The countries like us where there are different levels of governments. Okay, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of government, and that is called vertical division of power. It is found in Belgium but not in Sri Lanka. It is known as federal division of power. Next is community government. It is another form of power sharing. Listen, power may also be shared among different social groups, such as religious and linguistic groups. Community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. In some countries, there are constitutional and legal arrangements whereby socially weaker section and women are represented in the legislatures and administration. This method is used to give minority communities a fair share in a power. Then next one, coalition government. It is another important form of power sharing. Listen, power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the why political parties, sorry, be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movements control or influence those in power. In a democracy, the citizens must have freedom to choose among various contenders of different political parties for power. In democracy, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Then last one, different interest groups. Okay, in a democracy, we find that the interest groups like traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, and industrial workers. They also have a share in a governmental power through participation in governmental committee or bringing influence on the decision making process. Okay, so students, these are the forms of sharing. Okay, forms of sharing, that means power sharing. Okay, these are the forms of power sharing: community government, coalition government, then different interest groups, and so on. Okay, in such a that power is shared among by social movements, that means force the governments to change the laws by the various social movements. Second, different organs of the government, that means legislative, executive, and judiciary. Then pressure groups, yes, it influence the government and force them to change policies. Again, they are famous workers and industrialists. Okay, that means the pressure groups. Then political parties. Okay, it lead the competition, that means coalition government are shared formed if any party fails to get the majority, like in students Maharashtra, that means the alliance government. Okay, that means three parties came together and formed the government, so like that. Next, different social groups like the religious or the linguistic groups. Then among the governments at different levels, that means central or the union government, state government, then municipality and panchayats, local self government. So instead of that, power is shared like that. Okay students, it's time to check your knowledge. Here are some questions as your assignment, so you have to write the answers of these questions in your notebook. Okay students, in such a way that revision of this lesson is completed. In the next online session, I will take the revision of next lesson. Okay, so till then, thank you very much and have a nice day.